Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Today we're taking a look at a few pieces from Colourpop's newest spring collection, Sweet Talk. I picked up the eyeshadow palette, 3 Jelly Much shadow pots, all 6 blushes, and 1 lipstick that I kind of regret getting, but we're going to take a look at the swatch anyway. You want to see swatches for the eyeshadow palette, all blushes, Jelly Much shadows, and the lipstick. And maybe 3 eyeshadow looks. We'll see how the lids are doing today. Then please keep on watching. Hello my friends, if it's your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Alicia and Kinky Sweats represents both my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional here at NYC. All my movement musings can be found on my Instagram. All classes, workshops, and pop-up event info can be found on my website. I know I was not supposed to buy any more makeup. Something about this collection spoke to me. The whole theme surrounding spring, peaches, corals, pinks. It yelled buy me. And of course, Colourpop being at a very reasonable price point and having Afterpay, my willpower, let's just say, was obliterated. Here's the agenda for this video. We'll go over product details for all makeup, then we'll go into the blush demo, eyeshadow demo, and then I'll wrap with my final thoughts in the end. Timestamps will be down below for any portion you wish to skip over to. Here is the eyeshadow palette, Sweet Talk Pressed Powder Palette. The reason why I had to grab this was because they were featuring 2 new formulas in this palette. For the first time ever, Colourpop has a Super Shock Shadow in a palette. In addition, they are premiering their first pressed glitter shadow. It was a must-have for me because of those 2. I'm sorry. Here's a close-up of the palette, and on the back you have the shade name graph surrounded by like a holographic ring. This design really speaks to me. I think it is gorgeous, very much spring-like, definitely tells a story, and very much reflects what's in the palette. Here's the actual palette cover. It takes on a collage type of design with the woman's face, the flowers, and like the scratch-off details on here, and you'll still have the shade names on the back. And here we have the palette. This perhaps is my most favorite pan frame of life. It's holographic, you guys. Look how beautiful that is. Or maybe, you know what? Is it iridescent? I don't know if all the colors of the rainbow are in here. It kind of matches my earrings. I think this is a gorgeous layout. And let me just say, because I know you're thinking the same thing, these are not shades that we haven't seen before. I just appreciate the curation of these shades. Again, to try their new pressed glitter formula as well as their Super Shock Shadow. The Super Shock Shadow formula is specially formulated for palette use, so it will not dry out. Keep that in mind. All Colourpop products mentioned in this video are made in the USA and cruelty-free. This palette retails for $18, and we have 4 formulas. We have the Pressed Powder Matte, the Pressed Powder Metallic, the Pressed Glitter, and the Super Shock Shadow. Pressed powders weigh in at 0.90 grams each, or 0.03 ounces each. The Super Shock Shadow weighs in at 1.5 grams, or 0.05 ounces. A little more than the pressed powder. The pressed glitters weigh in at 1 gram each, or 0.04 ounces each. Here is the Super Shock Shadow blush, and the box kind of takes on the same thing that we found on the eyeshadow palette box. I could not help myself. I know I should not have bought 6 Super Shock blushes. The colors were just speaking to me, man. Like the coral and the orange and the soft pink and the mauve tones. I just had to have them. Packaged in standard Super Shock blush design, compact, or I should say mini pot. Here is the shade Get Laid, which is perhaps one of my most favorite out of the ones that I purchased, but I actually didn't try all of them today, but we're gonna see how that goes in this video. Each Super Shock blush retails for $8. It weighs in at 4.2 grams each, or 0.15 ounces each. I also picked up the Jelly Much shadows, which I only have 1. I picked up 1 color when they first released their initial set of Jelly Much shadows. These colors though, I don't think you're ready. Don't think you're ready. Similar box design as you see, and each pot takes on the color of what the actual Jelly Much shadow is. The Jelly Much shadows also retails for $8 each. You get 6.5 grams of product, or 0.23 ounces of product. I picked up 2 more colors, but we'll see that in the swatch portion of this video. And of course, the last thing I picked up was their Sweet Talk Luxe Cream lipstick. The packaging is outrageously beautiful. I'll give them that for this collection for sure. I picked up the shade Spring Roll, and online it looked more nude than it does in person. I gotta hand it to them. All my talk about not buying lipsticks in my Safari Rain Color Rain video, I decided to bite the bullet for this one because the Color Rain lipstick was $15. This is $7, and I feel the packaging is a lot better. The Color Rain packaging was like cardboard, and this feels a lot more luxe and it's cheaper. Don't know how they did it. I won't ask any questions. Here is the color of the lipstick, and again, I thought it would be a little more nude. It's pretty, and I might have to use a gloss to kind of adjust the color or combine it maybe with my Donatella Luxe Trans from Pat McGrath. Again, this retails for $7, weighing in at 3.5 grams of product or 0.12 ounces of product. Prices and deets out of the way, let's move into these swatches. Let's start out with Sweet Talk. Catch Me is a matte pastel peach. Side to Side, their Super Shock formula is a warm champagne with gold and silver glitter. That's pretty. I feel will definitely serve as a beautiful shadow topper for any of the metallics in here or any shadow you wish to combine this with outside this palette. Garden Date is a metallic coral with a gold sheen. Oh, that's pretty. We like that. Work It is a soft matte yellow orange. Ooh, that's pretty. And all shade descriptions are pulled from the Colourpop website. I very much appreciate their efforts in providing these shade descriptions because I'm terrible at describing shades. Thank you very much. Ooh, the first pressed glitter, we have Prima Drama. All right, this is a long description, bear with me. We got a pale rose gold glitter with a copper and gold duochrome shift. Oh wow. I'm gonna do another swatch. I'm gonna pick more up. It's definitely very creamy in the pan, and you can already see there's like a groove starting to be formed in the pan. That's shiny. As you saw, I had to build up the swatch, but again, when we get onto the eyeballs, we'll evaluate again during that portion. Meadow is a matte true coral. That's nice. And shade names are also under each pan on the palette. Oop, second press glitter, we have Early Mornin. Make sure I pick up quite a bit. And this is a marigold glitter. Oh, that's pretty. That has some nice shine. These pressed glitters have really nice shine. I have to find my Huda Beauty New Nude to compare it with her glitter formula. I feel like these are shinier. Like they have a lot more reflectivity in them. That's just me. Dreammaker is a matte soft coral. ICYMI, what does that stand for? I don't know. Is a matte dirty terracotta. These mattes are feeling good. Melody is a metallic rose with a gold flip. Ooh, that's pretty. West Side is a matte camel. Lastly, we have Feel Free. Ooh, this is a rich matte Bordeaux. Oh, wow. Here are the swatches, my friends, for a Sweet Talk eyeshadow palette from Colourpop. Again, we've seen these shades before, but what drew me in were the pressed glitters as well as just the curation of shades. Peaches, corals, and pinks all together, and when they do it right, it's phenomenal. We might have some sparkle left over, but it's all good. Not a bad problem to have. Next up, we have the Jelly Much Shadows. I am so excited to swatch this one. Oh my goodness. It comes with a lid cover to help prevent the actual shadow from drying out. Oh my gosh. This is Photosynthesis. You get it? And this is a bright chartreuse. Oh, look at that. This, you know how I feel about chartreuses. And this is simply gorgeous. Look how shiny that is. Oh, and it goes on so smooth and nice. We definitely need to use this in the demo today. I don't know how. We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. Next up, we have Late Bloomer. This is a rich plum with a blue and teal duochrome flip. What in the name? You see that? I mean, there's the teal and the blue. There it is. Amazing. Oh, that's incredible. Man, I have to see, this collection came through with the shades. That is simply gorgeous. Oh my heavens. Woo! All right, you gotta relax. You gotta relax, Alicia. Calm down. Lastly, we have Whistlin Pixie. I love this because of the terracotta bronzy feel it took. on a warm terracotta with a gold sheen. Oh, that is so pretty. These are so shiny. Oh my gosh. I'm excited inside. I also know my lids are not going to be happy with me, but I just have so many ideas in my head for shadow looks to show you guys. I want to use the Jelly Much shadows. I want to use the pressed glitters. We're going to figure it out. And if I don't get through it all today, I'll come back on here for a play date. Sounds like a plan to me. In addition to demoing each blush shade, I'll swatch on my arm and also demo on my cheeks. On my face, I have a combination of the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer in the shade Honey, mixed in with a little of the Makeup Forever self-setting concealer in the shade 41. Under the eyes, I have Makeup Forever's, again, self-setting concealer in 34. Lightly set with my Hourglass translucent veil. I'm going to leave the concealer unset so it's just easier to apply. I did want to do full-on foundation because ultimately on a spring-like fresh day, I would only apply concealer on my face just to kind of diffuse my blemishes and acne scars. To apply the Super Shock shadows, I'm using my Refer number 5 brush, which I have been loving. It's undyed goat hair and it's just the softest and the perfect shape for this type of application. You're gonna see in a minute. One of these shades are re-released. I think it's Count Me In, or is it Get Laid? I think it's Get Laid. First one we have is Count Me In. This is a soft pink shade, and let's take it on the cheeks. What I love about the Super Shock blush formula is that it's buildable and you don't have to be afraid that it's gonna be too blushy. I'm gonna pop on Mother Pat Wicked Whisper from her Liquid Lust Gloss, and that's going to be the color for all the blushes. Count Me In is the lightest shade I feel out of the bunch. If you're tan skin or lighter than me, it's going to be a nice pink flush. If you're deeper, I will definitely have to rely on the other shades in the collection that we're going to run into. They're more hot pink and coral for sure. To remove this, I'm going to use my face halo and just carefully on the portion that has blush, and we're going to do this all over again and again and again. Next up, we have No Vacancy, and this is a bright peachy coral. The shades look a lot brighter in person than they do online, that's for sure. I'm packing it on purpose so you can see it on camera. This definitely packs a little more punch. It definitely appears more coral in tone in comparison to Count Me In. Count Me In is definitely a softer pink, and you can really build this to show up saturated on the cheeks. You could apply it higher on the cheekbones. These shades I like to apply on the actual apples of my cheek because I think it just mimics that natural flushy occurrence. Next up, we have Growth Flirt, and this is a mid-tone pink. Ooh, I really like this one. I like this color. It's a little punchier than Count Me In because it's still within the pink realm. I think pinks look best on my skin tone in terms of looking the most natural. I do love me a coral and a peach for sure. Next up, we have Tuned In. This is described to be as a bright coral, cool toned pink. Like, that's pink. It definitely shows up a little more fluorescent pink. I could definitely pick up on the coolness of it, but it still doesn't look too ashy on me. It gives me a really nice tinge of brightness. I love the color, and I think it's definitely very spring-like and bright. Next up, we have Get Laid, and this is described to be as a bright peach. Ooh, this is like one of my favorite tones of blushes for sure. You definitely can't go wrong with peach. I think the peach shade definitely pulls out more of my golden undertones, and I think I prefer that shade over, let's say, Tuned In, but I probably will mix these blushes together, get a little bit of hot pink, get a little bit of coral. And last up, we have Yes She Did, and this is a pinky terracotta. I'm excited about this shade. Brown pinks are definitely my thing. They're not too warm and not too cool tone, right in the middle, and I think it provides a beautiful natural flush of color. Here are all the blush shades swatched side by side, and although they look different on the arm, I know they might not look so different on the face during the demo. By no means you're obligated to get all these shades. I was very curious just to see how differently they do look on the skin. Perhaps the one standout difference is in Tuned In. I could definitely pick up the more cooler hot pink tones in the shade. I do love Get Laid, which is the peachier shade here. I think it's a beautiful flush of color. And I really love Yes She Did, which is what I still have on my cheeks now. Pinky terracotta, you can't go wrong. I think it has a nice earthy tone to it, but it still provides that flush and brightness on the cheeks. Yesterday, I filmed my Natural Club Flaxseed Gel review, and I didn't actually have as much concealer on my face like I do today. And I really love that shade on the cheeks. It was a very natural light flush of color that gave the face nice color without looking overbearing or just looking too light. I'm gonna keep Yes She Did on my cheeks as we move into the eye demo. And with that said, all looks will start off with the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer in the shade Natural Beige as my lid prep. And it will be unset also for all looks. Ooh, what do I want to do? Oh, I am so overwhelmed in a good way. I forgot to mention this in the product details portion of the video. Palette does not have a mirror. I feel Colourpop usually reserves the palette mirror design for collaborations. Work it with my Hakuhodo J5522. I'm going to start pulling that through the crease. Nice yellow orange shade. It's very light, but it's blending beautifully into the skin, and I feel will make as a nice foundation for any of the peachy shades to follow. I'm building it up so we can have a nice diffused platform to work on. Now on my wing gloss number 4. That's really dirty, don't mind her. With Meadow. I'm gonna start with that on the outer V of the crease. Also the inner corner. Well, that's a nice combination we have starting up here. Taking my Hakuhodo again with Work It and just further diffusing the edges of that shade. And then going back in with Meadow with my number 4 to just build up the outer V. Taking Meadow with my Sonia G. Worker 1 on the lower lash line. Ooh, that's pretty. Very nice. Bow with Work It under Meadow just to blow out the lower lash line. Doing a little more here on the outer corner. Nothing like a nice finger swipe to erase your mistakes. Garden Date with my MAC 248. I'm gonna first apply that dry. Oh. Well, that's gorgeous. Ooh, this is a nice, like, shade. Curious, so I'm gonna wet it. I'm gonna apply where we just put down the, ooh, yeah, man, that really bumped up the shine for realsies. Taking my number 4 to help refine the edges of that shade. Oh, that's really nice. I really like how this is going. Taking the Super Shock shadow side to side, I'm gonna pat that on, oh, that's a really great topper. That really bumped up the sparkle and the shine tenfold. I'm gonna cut down the lighting a little bit because I feel, there we go, you could better see the color. Super Shock shadows are perhaps one of my most favorite items to use when looking for more glitz and sparkle without having to rely on an actual glitter. We have the glitters in here, which we will most certainly use, but if you wanted just something quick, Super Shock eyeshadows are the way to go. I just want to dabble though a little bit with the glitter, just a little bit. With my Wayne Goss 27S synthetic pencil brush, Pixie Drama, just to the inner third of the lower lash line, just a little bit. Ooh, picked up nice amount. Oh, that's pretty. Oh yeah, we like that. We like that. Now I'm taking Melody, the pressed metallic in the palette with the same pencil brush and placing that on the inner corner. All right, friends, let's do the other eye, apply some lashes, and I'll be right back. Look completed, friends. On the lashes, I have Ardell Demi Wispies. On the bottom, Pat McGrath's Fetish Eyes Mascara. On the lips, Pat McGrath's Liquid Lust Gloss in Wicked Whispers. On the cheeks, Super Shock Blush in Yes She Did. I love this first look. It's very simple. By all means, you could apply mascara on your top lashes and not have the need to apply falsies. I love the Demi Wispies for these springy looks because they're not too overwhelming. They give the look a nice flirty effect, of course, because they're not heavy on the lash band. I think the glitters are working well so far. They were very easy to apply. I love the shine. The camera doesn't do it justice. It looks so pretty in person, right here under the nook of the lower lash line, and the Super Shock shade just gives the lids beautiful shine and reflectivity. I like how this is going so far. I definitely want to dip into one of the Jelly Much shadows next, so stay tuned for that look and I'll see you there. Because we're working with glitter, we might have some left over throughout this demo. Just keep that in mind. I want to go in with the Jelly Much Chartreuse shade. I just don't know which powder eyeshadow I want to use to help elevate that experience. I'm going to be illegal and dip out for this look because I really want the chartreuse shade to shine. And realistically, I would use this with other eyeshadow palettes, not necessarily the Sweet Talk eyeshadow palette from Colourpop. With that said, I'm going to go into my Try palette from Juvia's Place. Sorry. In with Ashanti, and that's with my Wayne Goss number 3. Then with Maasai, same brush to blend out Ashanti with near the edge of the brow. Taking my Sonia G Worker 3 with Ashanti just to deepen the color on the outer corner of my lid. And I'm also pulling it into the crease as well again. And why not, we're going to place it onto the inner third of the lid. Alright, I think that's a good setup for Photosynthesis. Taking that color with my MAC 248. This has such great fluidity. You don't even have to go in with concealer first or what have you. You could just use this to carve it out. Oh my God, what is happening? I'm using my finger to just feather out the edges of the application. And even that kind of blends the product really nicely on the lid. That is perhaps one of the most gorgeous things I have ever seen. Holy mackerel. It sets, but you still have some breathing room to manipulate it in the way that you want to. And then if you want, you could just pat down more just to fill that up. Now I'm taking my Hakuhoro J146 just to refine the edges near the inner portion of my lid. I'm going to take the same photosynthesis shade and I'm using the back of my hand just as a palette to control the application onto the inner third of the lower lash line, pulling it through. Using my pinky just to help buff out the edges. Oh, that's nice. With my refer brush number 2 with Ashanti from Tried by Juvia's, the outer third of the lower lash line to connect those points. Again with my Hakuhoro J146 just to help shape out that V. We got to Sonaji Builder Pro with Koro on the inner corner. Oh my God. All right, friends, let's apply these lashes, do the other eye, and I'll be right back. Finished look, friends. I applied wing liner, Pat McGrath's Prima Precision in conjunction with the Wet n Wild Skinny Liner to shape the wing. Same Ardell Demi Wispy lashes on the top, Pat McGrath's Fetish Eyes Mascara on bottom lashes. On the lips, I have Pat McGrath's Luxe Trans lipstick in the shade Los Angeles, topped with her liquid lust gloss in full real. I know we dipped out of this Colourpop review, but I wanted to showcase photosynthesis in the best possible way. I thought the peachy shades wouldn't do that for me, and again, realistically, I would apply these khaki colors with photosynthesis to just showcase the undertones and the chartreuse color a little bit better. We will dip into another Jelly Mutt shadow, and this time I want to use West Side and Feel Free for the setup on the crease and outer corner. And with that said, let's roll in. Wave number 3 with West Side. Get that, oh, that packs a punch right away. It's a nice warm brown color just to place all over your crease, lid, lower lash line and be done. Really nice color, really easy blend. I love the tone of it. We've seen these colors before, nothing new. I just love that it's in this palette. Now I'm on Wayne Goss number 4 with Feel Free. Punch that into the outer corner. Start to build up the smoke. Gonna punch that on the inner third as well. Pull that through the crease. Back in with West Side to further blend out the edges of Feel Free. It's a really nice shade. I like that. Nice smoke, but it's like a wine type of intensity shade. I'm going in with the P07A. This is from Refer. I think it's still in the prototype stages. I'm not too sure, but this brush right here is like so good. I like to use this in my number 4. They have like a similar roll. This puts down a little more color and I think it has more bristles in there. Smooth that out. Get that more diffused. Now in with Whistlin Pixie with my MAC 248 right on the center. Oh yeah, we like that. That is such a pretty shade. So shiny. I love that. Oh, that goes so beautifully well with the mattes. Sonaji Worker 1 with West Side, the matte camel shade. Refer number 2, Feel Free, the Bordeaux shade. On the outer inner thirds of my lower lash line. Packing that in just so we can match up with the shape. I do want to use the Marigold glitter in the palette. I kind of want to pop it like right on the center of the lower lash line. Early Morning with my Wayne Goss 27S pencil synthetic brush. And just center of the lash line. It's like a crying glitter effect. Oh, and I love the sparkles in here. It matches so well with the Jelly Mutt shadow on the lid. We like that. We like that. Side to side, the Super Shock formula in the palette. Same. I just realized that was not a Wayne Goss brush. That was a Sonaji Pencil Pro. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. They kind of have a similar shaped head, so I just picked it up from my brush holder and assumed it was the Wayne. Sonaji Pencil Pro with side to side on the inner corner. All right, I'm going to apply some lashes, do the other eye, and I'll be right back, friends. Close-up of this look, friends. On the lashes, we have Lily Lashes in the style NYC. Pat McGrath's Fetish Eyes Mascara on the lower lashes. And I applied the Super Shock Shadow in the palette on the inner corners. Pat McGrath's Luxe Trans lipstick in Los Angeles, topped with her liquid lust gloss in full real. The way this marigold glitter shines on the lash line is just So good. Look at that shine and just the depth of color it provides. Very easy to apply, very easy to blend, and I feel despite it drying down completely, like it won't move on the lid, so it's pretty good. I still feel you have playtime during application to get the edges blurred, to manipulate it the way you want it to, in combination with powder shadows if you decide to apply powder shadows with the Jelly Much shadows. The glitters are beyond easy to apply. I love that they're in the palette. It just makes it for a very seamless experience if you want to combine mattes, metallics, Jelly Much, Super Shock Shadow this, glitter that. And I love this color combination. It has copper, gold, like what was the shade description again for this? It just says marigold glitter, but I feel it's more than that. It's so multi-dimensional in terms of color story and in shine, and the way it looks under the lash line in conjunction with what's happening on the lid. Feel Free is a beautiful Bordeaux wine color, and I felt it blend seamlessly on the lid, especially on West Side. Again, colors we've seen before, but I just love the tones. And again, with the marigold glitter, you could have applied this metallic on the lid instead. You could have very much applied Bordeaux all over the lid so it's extra smoky in that way. I definitely want to do one more look because I want to use more of the pinks that we didn't. So I think that's the game plan, friends. If you want to see the last look, then please keep on watching. Last look, I promise. Leftover glitter. It's like a New Year's Eve party on my lash line. Let's first dip into Dream Maker. Taking that with my Wayne Goss number 3. Nice soft light pink shade. I think it's a good base for what we're about to build. Wayne Goss number 4 with ICYMI. With ICYMI. Just want to see how that looks on the outer corner. It adds nice depth, but still looks pink overall. Placing that on the inner corner as well as throughout the crease. And with my number 3 again, with Dream Maker, that first pink we applied on the crease, just further blowing that out. I don't want this to appear the same as the last look. I think I'm going to go straight in with Late Bloomer. Again, MAC 248. Look at that. That's crazy. Gonna put, oh my god. I'm just patting that all over the lid. I'm taking it a little further out from the lid than I usually would for a typical faux spotlight eye. I'm using the fingers to just feather the edges. That's crazy. I think I need a little more contrast. I love how the pinks look, but I think I need to dip into Feel Free to increase a little bit of the intensity. Feel Free with my Hakuhoro J146. I'm just gonna carefully tap right at the edge. So I'm not gonna smoke it up like I did the last look, but just to add a little more depth here. And also doing that on the inner portion of the lid. And I'm carefully just bringing it slightly through the crease, just very lightly. So I think that added nice dimension. It kind of bracketed Late Bloomer a little bit more, so I felt it didn't look separated on the pinkier mattes. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love that. Oh my god. Starting off with ICYMI on my Sonajit Worker 1. Under the lash line, same brush with Dream Maker, but a little lower to further blow it out with that pink shade. Sonajit Builder Pro with Feel Free, inner and outer. I'm going to tap that a little more here just so it could look complete. Taking more Dream Maker and just further blowing out the look. Catch me with my Smith 256. I actually did this on the last look, just carefully bringing that on the brow bone. It's nothing special, but I feel it will set the concealer if any is there and also just add a little bit of brightness to the look. Prima Donna with my Sonia G Pencil Pro. I'm not putting it anywhere specific. I'm dragging the brush across the lash line, but whatever deposits, that's where it stays, and that's kind of how it'll appear. I will take a little bit of Late Bloomer. Same pencil brush, but now on the inner and outer portions of my lower lash line. I'm just combining that jelly shade with the glitter because maybe it could influence the color story more so it can match the lid. I'm using my finger to just feather out the edges there. I'm gonna do something wild and take Photosynth with the same pencil brush, but to the inner corner. Oh my god, that's pretty. Pulling it around the curve. All right, friends, let's get this other eye done, slap on some lashes, and I'll be right back. Close-up of the final look, friends. Still Lily Lashes in the style NYC. Fetish Eyes from Pat McGrath mascara on the lower lashes. On the lips, same combo as you know. Los Angeles from Pat McGrath's Luxe Trans line, topped with her Liquid Lust Gloss in For Real. and the Super Shock blush from Colourpop and Get Laid on top of what I had before, which was Yes She Did. I am beyond happy with the eyeshadow palette. I must say though, I am beyond the moon impressed with the Jelly Much shadows this collection. The shine and just the color story overall, the duochrome finishes, and just the brilliance of these jelly shadows, just no words. I do love the shadow palette, and I will say this. I love it because I'm into glitter. I haven't played with it much because, of course, with all the new releases that have been happening, I've been a little distracted. I would totally use these pressed glitters very often under my lash line, inner corner. I could probably still put them on my lid, but if I have the jelly shadows, I would rather put those on. I just love how they look. And again, I could play with this some more. These are shades that we've seen before. They're nothing new. The pinks, the peaches, the wines, the browns. I just love how it's curated. You could get a lot of smoke from this shade, and you saw how intense it can be with the third look, or how kind of low-key it could appear with this look. I feel the pink shades have nice richness to them. They'll show up as pink and coral and not dusty and ashy. The only shade, if you're deeper than me, that you probably won't get much out of is Catch Me, but you could probably get away with it as an inner corner matte highlight if you wanted to go that route. I think you'll have great luck with Feel Free. I think it has really nice depth and intensity and can really smoke up the look, but that wine Bordeaux color I feel is just gorgeous on the outer corner and also the inner. The metallic shades are pretty. I think they're rose goldy, pinkish in nature. Like, you can't go wrong with those shades. They're really nice shades to have. The standouts for me definitely are the pressed glitters. I like the Super Shock shade in here. I think because it has golden silver glitter, you can't go wrong with that. You could apply them on any of these metallic shades. If you do want to apply it by itself, you're not going to get full color impact because the color base I feel is just champagne, so it's not going to be like one of the pinky shades in here. If you wanted to have a little bit of fun, I actually applied the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold palette on my cheekbone. If you want it, you can take some of the Super Shock shadow and just put a little bit on the cheekbone to bump up the glitz and the shine. Now keep in mind, this does have glitter in it, so if you don't want that look, don't go with this step, but it is multifunctional in that way that you can layer the Super Shock shadow either on the lids or on the face. The blushes I love. I just feel they're foolproof to use. They apply sheer, but they are buildable indeed. Using any brush, whether it be synthetic or natural hair, I just feel they're very easy to apply, and they definitely give off that more natural look because it's like that bouncy cream texture. Anytime you deal with a bouncy cream texture or even a cream shadow, it will appear more natural because it's just going to apply and blend better into the skin than the powder would, especially if you apply on a non-set foundation or concealer. If you did like me and just use concealer or even it's a BB cream, something more lightweight all over the face, not set it, and apply one of these Super Shock blushes, I think you'll get a beautiful flushed appearance. You don't need all six. Don't do like me. My favorites out of the 6 that I picked up was Get Laid, which was the peachy shade, Count Me In, which was the very light pink shade, and Yes She Did, which was the more pinky terracotta. I love these shades. Of course, I will use the others. I think they're very bright and they could really pack a punch, and if you wanted to do something avant-garde, you can utilize these shades in a way that looks super bright and haute couture. Like, they are gorgeous for sure, and ultimately they all look similar when applied on the cheekbones. I didn't observe a distinct difference except maybe for tuned in. Like this, I knew this was tuned in if I applied this on my face because it definitely appeared more cool tone and definitely brighter than the other shades in the 6. I know I didn't apply Sweet Talk because Sweet Talk with any of these eye looks I felt would have just looked a little out of place. If you want to quickly see what that looks like, it's not bad. It actually looks nice with this look. I thought it was going to look a little crazy, but it's a lot more pinky coral on me than it appeared online, and I get it. That is the color story for this collection. Maybe they just... What's that? It's not too bad. Maybe I was being hard on it. I didn't find the right eye look to pair it with. This looks okay, especially with my headband. You know, it's not too bad. I would lighten it up, and with that, I will probably either go in with Full Real or Dare to Bear, which is my like light peachy go-to from the Liquid Lust Gloss collection that I have. I think that kind of zhuzhed it up a little bit. It brought lightness to the center of the lip, and I feel ties in the look a little bit better. So maybe I'll start being such a hard butt and use that shade more often. especially with these pinky mattes. I mean, they go really nicely together, and if I rely on a lip gloss to kind of zhuzh up the color, it would appear just fine. I'm very impressed with these pressed glitters. I just love how they look. I love their shine, their vibrancy. I feel it just adds nice character to your eye look, and if you're not into glitter, then don't get this palette. It will probably be a waste of money for you. There are 2 in here, and if you're not going to get use out of it, I know it's only $18, but $18 could be expensive for your budget depending on where you are, and especially if you're not going to use all the shades, it's definitely not worth to get. If you're curious about their pressed glitter shades and you like to implement glitters in your eye looks often, then I would consider it. I feel they're self-adhering. You don't need any glue. I feel they stick on pretty well, and I just love the shade of these glitters. I think they're gorgeous. I think they're unique. Again, I use synthetic and natural hair brushes throughout this video to apply them, and both work very well. You could also use your fingers if you just wanted to apply it on your inner corner, or use one of the bigger fingers to apply the glitter on your lid. If there's one thing I highly recommend from all the items I tried in this video, the Jelly Mud shadows, you guys, these have incredible shine and reflectivity. From far away, that looks gorgeous. Even photosynthesis on the inner corner, outrageous. I did have one jelly shadow. I don't know where it is. It's lost in all of my makeup. Typical. I liked it, but something about these shades in this collection, I don't know if they bumped up the duochrome reflect or they just made it shinier. Again, we have photosynthesis, Whistlin, Pixie, and Late Bloomer. The other shades are gorgeous too, but these really stood out to me in terms of the color, the shine, just the reflex, the brilliance of them. It's just crazy beautiful. If I would recommend one thing to get out of this collection, if you're not into eyeshadow palettes, but you love really special shiny types of shades, definitely get Jelly Much. If I had to pick one shade out of the 3, oh man, that's hard. I love photosynthesis, but Late Bloomer right now is giving me vibes because it's duochrome, and I feel you could pair this color with blue, with black, with wine, with pink. I feel you can combine this shade with a lot more mattes in your collection than you can with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis will be beautiful on its own. I feel you will have to pair it with a shadow closer to that color story just so it doesn't look too outlandish or just too out of place. I wasn't sure. Maybe it would have been fine if I applied it on the pinkies and the corals. Olives, yellows, maybe something more orange in tone than coral in tone. I think photosynthesis will look beautifully well with. Or Whistlin Pixie. This will be my number 2 after Late Bloomer. Whistlin Pixie is your terracotta shade. It's not duochrome, but it's very shiny and just gorgeous in color. You could apply that with any of your warm shades, mustards, browns, wines, whatever. It's gonna look gorgeous on the lid and the lower lash line. Wherever you put it, quite frankly, it's gonna be gorgeous. Let me know, friends, if you picked up anything from Colourpop's Sweet Talk Spring collection. I'm very happy with my purchase, and I'm just going to try to stop buying so much makeup. I had to grab this palette with the new formulas, the pressed glitters, had to try them out. The Jelly Mud shadows, blushes, I went a little crazy, maybe excessive, but I love how my cheeks look. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another chit chat, get ready with me, tutorial, or review. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.